Today, John Malone, we're going to talk about the blasphemy laws. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, very good. All we hear these days, John, is to repeal this and repeal that. The same groups using words like compassion, solidarity, freedom of expression, right to this and a right to that. It gets a bit tedious. Those words are now synonymous with pro-abortion, LGBT rights, gay marriage, gay parenting, and now we have the blasphemy law, which is a promotion of atheism. Many people associate Stephen Fry with the end with blasphemy laws in Ireland, but the people behind the repeal of the blasphemy laws have a worldwide atheist agenda, and they are like a cult. Groups promoting repeal of the blasphemy laws are the following: International Humanist and Ethical Union, European Humanist Federation, Atheist Alliance International, Atheist Ireland. The following comes from the IHEU Wikipedia page, and the IHEU is the International Humanist and Ethical Union. In January 2015, in part as a response to the Charlie Hebdo shooting, the IHEU, alongside other transnational secular groups, the European Humanist Federation and the Atheist Alliance International, and a 200-strong coalition founded by the End Blasphemy Laws campaign. End Blasphemy Law is campaigning to repeal blasphemy and related laws worldwide. So, John Malone, you say the blasphemy laws are here to protect people who believe in God.
Yes, in Ireland, that's what they were put in for, because we know that the media, the state broadcaster, RTE, and various other organisations constantly attack the Catholic and Christian faith. Funny enough, it's the only one that this atheist international organisation and this Amnesty International and all these anti-Catholic organisations, it's the Catholic and Christian faith that are attacking. They're not going to succeed with the Muslims because nobody can get through to them if they're in the majority. So it's the Catholic and Christian faith that they're trying to destroy.
Do you think this thing about the blasphemy law and repeal it is a cloaked attempt to promote atheism, given the groups involved?
Without a doubt, and they have the support of the media, as I've just indicated, and if the support, they've probably infiltrated their ideas are in certain political parties, particularly the Socialist Labour Party, and perhaps other parties as well, because we notice in this country, although it's a Catholic, supposed to be 80% Catholic, although they don't all practice it, but it's supposed to be over 80% Catholic and Christian. We find that the government that get votes from people actually don't support that faith, and brought in laws that you've just indicated with the same-sex marriage law, although they didn't call it that at the time, and also the other, abortion. So it's quite clear that they've been emboldened now to proceed about the blasphemy laws and to confuse the issue, and of course they'll have the support of the media. So I hope the public in this country are not going to go down the same road that they went down in the two previous referendums that we just spoke about.
Stephen Fry reignited the debate on blasphemy. He was on The Meaning of Life with Gay Byrne, and he said, "How dare you create a world in which there is such misery?" This is what he would say to God at the pearly gates, by the way. "It's not our fault, it's not right, it's utterly evil. Why should I respect a capricious, mean-minded, stupid God who creates a world which is so full of injustice and pain?" He went on to say if he was met by the Greek gods, he would accept them quicker because they didn't present themselves as all-being, all-seeing, all-wise, all-beneficent. What do you think of Stephen Fry's remarks?
Dreadful would be the word. Abominable would be another word. Of course, they were made on the RTE, the state broadcaster, in an interview with Mr. Gay Byrne, who, of course, supports same-sex marriage referendum, and perhaps for all we know, abortion, though I don't think there was question on that. They went down a different road. Now, Mr. Fry should have never had a platform to come out with such absolutely dreadful views. If that unfortunate man has views like that, he should not have a veil to inflict such views on the public at large. But this is RTE, so for all we know, that was part of their agenda as well.
I think it was, because it actually sounded, he was so articulate, it sounded like it was very well rehearsed. And that Gay Byrne knew exactly what was coming.
Exactly, but Gay Byrne, while he gave the impression during his radio years of being a kind of a Catholic in the ordinary sense of the word. He went to Sing Street, which is Christian Brothers schools, but he was an individual that it was very hard to pin down what he actually believed in. Some people that you listen to on the radio or television, in the past, you knew that they had some values and etc. But I'm afraid with RTE, I don't think I had that impression with a lot of their presenters that seem to be popular. I'm thinking of the other individual, the late Jerry Ryan, who was certainly not a practicing Catholic with the views he expressed on the radio. Absolutely dreadful.
Repeal of blasphemy law is atheism versus religion. It's about the rights of the atheist. Repeal of the blasphemy law is about promoting humanism as a cult. Would you agree with that?
Well, that's their agenda, and they've been supported by the media and by certain governments, by certain political parties, particularly, let's say, the socialists and people that have an anti-Catholic and an anti-Christian agenda. There's not too many of them providing help in the third world for to alleviate the suffering of people in those countries. It's Catholic organisations, nuns, priests, lay people that are alleviating in third world countries the suffering that those people are enduring, and to provide some healthcare and education and all the rest of it. Not too many humanists and atheists do that for anyone. They're trying to destroy society. We don't know what sort of an agenda they have, but they should be more or less not permitted to promote their views.
Okay. So Catholics are actually being asked, by repealing the blasphemy law, we're being asked to promote atheism. We're asked to renounce God.
Correct, because even at the present time, the Catholic faith and religion is attacked constantly by the media in this country, and state broadcasters as well. So now the atheists and international atheists and these humanists and all the rest of it, they see that they have the support of that media, and so they're able to get their views across when numerically they're probably no more than about 1%, or maybe more, 2% or 3%, but they're certainly not the numbers in this country where we're supposed to be 80%, 90% Catholic and Christian. So they're attacking this country with their views and laws, and they've been successful in 2 referendums so far, and now they think they can get this, and we don't know what would be the head of the country if they succeeded, and Irish people are led like lambs to the slaughter once again without thinking what they're being asked to do. Keep the blasphemy laws. It protects attacks on religion, which we would have to endure even worse than what we have to put up with at the moment. It
also preserves religious belief.
Well, yes, and people, if those type of people in the communist organisation, we see what they did in Russia. There was millions starved and killed. Churches were destroyed in that country, but yet the faith was still there, because now there are 150 million Orthodox Christians in Russia. All their churches were destroyed, but they're being rehabilitated. In Muslim countries, with the Muslim extremists in Iraq and Syria, they've destroyed Catholic churches and persecuted Catholics and Christians. They're doing it in Pakistan. There's a Catholic mother of children in jail and under sentence of death. So our laws are here to protect the attacks on the Catholic and Christian faith, which has been constant in this country. It'll be a lot worse if that law is done away with, and regretfully I feel that the Irish are going to be misled once again.
The atheist organisations use Pakistan, for example. They say Pakistan justifies the death penalty by referencing Ireland's blasphemy laws. In light of that, are we obliged, through our international obligations, to delete Article 40 in the Constitution?
This is another falsehood promoted by the atheists. Pakistan has its own laws, the Muslim countries.
Absolutely.
They don't respect, they persecute Catholics and Christians in that country, so same as in India with the Hindus. So they don't support the views of a Catholic country like Ireland, and it's nonsense. It's the kind of falsehood that this atheist bigots come out with. The safest thing is to ignore their views and what they have to say about any other country. This is Ireland, and we should be a sovereign country. Of course, we're beginning to lose our identity being part of the EU, and of course this constant attack on the faith of the people.
A letter was published and signed by 23 signatories from 12 countries, asking the Irish public, this was in the Sunday Times, asking for the Irish public, these are people that were persecuted, or supposedly persecuted, and they've used these people, they've exploited these people to promote the repeal of the blasphemy law. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's another effort, another falsehood, because all these people that they purport to try to influence the vote in this country are all Muslims. Now, they've decided to live in other European countries and here, there and yonder. We don't know anything about them. They just appear just out of the blue in this request and getting publicity for their views. There's not too many Irish people, I presume, contacted Pakistan authorities and asked them to their blasphemy laws. They wouldn't even get a hearing or any support by the media. If the media reported it, it'd be got to be a mob go and burn the station down. So we know what they do. So the idea that people from these countries that purport to be living in other countries, it's just a falsehood.
We are being asked to repeal the Irish blasphemy law because there's 23 signatures from 12 countries: Indonesia, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Palestine, Nigeria, Morocco, Pakistan, Malaysia. What has that to do with Ireland?
Nothing. Funny enough, Nigeria has 11,000 seminarians going on for the priesthood. So that's another falsehood, this organisation. We know what the socialists are fit to do. We know what atheists are fit to do. The truth is strange to them. They don't know the meaning of the word. Their philosophy, it's what you call a negative, hopeless philosophy. Only deranged people support such a view. And Stephen Fry would be a perfect example of it. A deranged homosexual ignoramus.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much.